Living and camping in Scotland, what could be better? We have lovely, peaceful campsites, the finest seasonal produce and local craft ales, and we have this fantastic outdoors lifestyle. We often spend part of winter in Spain to get some winter sun, and if we're lucky, some years we get back to Europe to top up our tans. So we found no matter where we go, we need good, reliable heating. And if our heating was good and reliable, it would still be hanging from its brackets under the van, rather than inside the shed waiting to be dissected. So this is £1,000 worth of heater. It's a Whale LPG and electric. I could get it fixed under warranty, but I'm not going to waste too much time on it. And the reason is this is the second one we've had. The first one didn't even last a year, about 11 months. And it took us about 6 months to get a new one, and it cost us hundreds of pounds in fuel going up and down to the dealers. So I want something else. Now, I just want to dissect it a bit, because the first one that broke down, they told me it was the PCM, the power control module, that had gone. Yeah, I've seen enough. I'm not even going to go into the burner unit. And that's because the PCM is not fully enclosed. It looks like the sort of thing you'd get in a mid-range diesel heater, you know, maybe like a £500 Autotherm, where the PCM isn't fully enclosed, but they've put this coating over it to protect the solder joints, I guess, you know. I wouldn't put that back under my van. You know, like Webasto's and Eberspacher and the like, they are fully enclosed and fully sealed connections as well. So let's go and see what we have decided to do. So this might be a bit squint because the van's lying at an angle. Anyway, looking from the back of the van, under the bed on the left hand side, what we had was the air intake for the underslung heater. We used to put a cage over that because it would be very easily to block there, and on top of that it's quite hard to pack the van with that there. On the opposite side, on the right hand side, we had the big elbow and the ducting coming in from the underslung heater, bringing hot air into the van. Now what we wanted in that location was a diesel heater, and that's because they're small and they're simple, and I'd be able to fix it myself if it broke down. Now we especially wanted the heater inside the van because both of the old heaters broke down after driving in heavy rain. Not standing water, just heavy rain and spray coming up from the road. So I think water ingress did play a part in that. Now, despite the fact it's a massive financial hit for us, we wanted a Webasto Airtop 2000 as opposed to one of the very low-cost heaters, because the electronics are fully sealed. Both the PCM and the electrical connections are fully sealed. Now, although this heater's obviously fitted inside the van, there's an amazing amount of dust gets sucked into these things. I was surprised how much dust was inside the old heater. So I think the Airtop's our best chance at having a heater that we potentially don't have to look at again for the foreseeable future. Now, the other reason I wanted one of the more expensive heaters is because we wanted it to be as quiet as possible. Not so much for us inside the van, but for people camping round us. So this Webasto heater, its fuel pump has a dampening diaphragm on it, which means there's no ticking. And we also got fitted the upgraded Webasto silencer. Now the technician who fitted this said that he turned the heater on as he normally would after he installed it, to let it go through its startup thing and venting and all that sort of stuff. And he went to do something else and he thought it had stopped because he couldn't hear it. Now the other thing we've done is we've put the controller at the back of the van here, because we have to get up to operate the controller on the old heater, so we might as well have it at the back. That means we can reach it from the bed and turn it on in the morning if we want to. The multi-control also has a timer on it, so we can use that. I should say, I don't know how many times with the old heat and I stood in front of this duo controller trying to clear false lockouts. So speaking of installations, we got this done by Highland Camper Vans. So the cost to remove the old heating and fit this new diesel heater, including the standpipe to the fuel tank, the upgraded silencer, the multi-controller, and blanking off the old inlet, cost us £2,100, around that. Now I say around that because we also got a barbecue point fitted, because we had a spare gas connection now, and I don't know what part of the cost that was. Now the only slight issue we had, if we look at this earlier picture when we first got it installed, was that they'd fitted this grey T you can see on the left hand side, simply because they didn't have a swept fitting. They thought it was only going to take 2 or 3 days to get the swept fitting, and it actually ended up taking about 2.5 weeks. In hindsight, I would have packed the van and gone camping, but it's really why this video is taking so long and why we have not been camping. But it's done now, and it's a great install, and I'm really happy with it. So while we were waiting to get this finished, I did a couple of things. I got this ply, because the heater will need protected, because we load the middle of the van. It's just velcroed on, takes both hands to get it off. I put insulation on the inside of it, and I carpeted the outside. On the left-hand side, I insulated both the floor and the wheel arch with this 7mm sticky foil-backed insulation and silver tape over it, and then just some old camping mat over the top. Now the foil looks quite robust, but if you dig something into it, I'm sure it's going to bust, hence the camping mat over the top. The wheel arches in these vans are normally just covered with this lightweight foam. It tends to come off, so I'm sure that'll make a big difference to our insulation. And I'm going to do the same on the other side now that the heater's fully fitted. And also on the heater side, because we've lost a bit of the storage that we had to the right hand side of the heater there, because the hose needs to have a good sweep in it so there's no hot points and so on, I'm going to build a tray over the top of the heater just to regain a bit of storage there. Now there's obviously pros and cons to removing an electric and gas heater and putting a single fuel heater in, like a diesel heater, but I think we'll leave that to another video. We had expected to get this heater in and go camping and have it all in one video, but we've kind of run out of time. So I'm here on my own because the weather's not too good again. So I'll say cheerio or hello to Cleo and Charlie and Joey on Rona's behalf as well. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's a bit of a shorter one if it ends up short. Catch you soon. Bye.